Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the last session of the summit, our closing remarks. We are very happy that you made it through the day. We are also very grateful for the support that you received throughout the organization of this event, and we really like to first thank Clamators Foundation, who made this event possible. We also would like to thank a lot of the base and the EMPA teams who have worked behind the scenes. Maybe you have not seen them, we've only seen them in a couple of sessions, but there is a lot of work that went into preparing this event and coordinating with all the speakers, the panelists, and I think it's really great to see the engagement of so many people with for such an important topic. This means not only the base and EMPA team, but actually there is a full technical team, the TechUs and the AMP Health teams who helped us over the past months to make sure that this event is visible, that it's properly organized, and that it's run smoothly. And so we are very grateful for their support throughout the day. Honestly, for us, it feels like it's a bit of the end of a marathon. It was a very long day. It started very early this morning. We hope you got some breaks in between, but we are also very excited to see the whole, the breadth and sort of the many different topics that were covered throughout the summit. We started with a speaker in session 2 who mentioned something about the fact that he's aware that one of the key challenges is the fact that often people don't know when they don't know, which I thought it was quite a funny quote. And hopefully the sessions of today help you to shed some light, at least on some aspects that maybe you were not that familiar with. We covered a great deal throughout the day. We started from challenges of Greek solar cold chain, what we can do about it. And I think it was very clear throughout many of the sessions where we touched on this problem that the answer is not solely technical, but it's oftentimes a combination of different things, including partnerships, proper governance, data, and as well as training. And I found it especially revealing to hear that financiers across different sections actually mentioned that having a management team of organizations that are trying to finance or to support being a strong team was a key component for them to decide on the feasibility of the investment, especially when the track record for the company was lacking. And to me, what this means is that people are really at the center of what we're doing. And I think that this interaction between people is actually the key for a successful project, which I thought was very revealing component of today's interaction. We also had a great set of stimulating presentations on the side events, a lot of the science. Maybe you understood by now that your virtual cold chain assistant project as a project, it's also quite science focused and science based. We talked about CO2 assessment. We talked about passive cooling, all the details about the Cultivate app. And we would love to continue the conversation along all these pillars with your support. A big part of the summit was dedicated to financing and business model. And this is mostly because at Base, we are convinced that, and we see often that this is a key bottleneck to deploy sustainable cold chain solutions. And so this is something that we feel requires a lot of our attention. And we heard a lot of different solutions or suggestions today, but we are sure that this would need to continue in the coming weeks and months. And we really also we are grateful for the support and also for the contributions of the different panelists that came to join us and discuss these topics with us today. And I would like to leave you with a few numbers that impressed me throughout the day. The first one being that one of the speakers mentioned that there is 1.2 billion people that depending on fishing and on the fish cold chain. And so this is to show that there is a huge opportunity to do more with solar power cold chain, with different types of cold chain solutions, depending on different use cases. Another number that stayed with me a lot is the fact that in the passive cooling session, it was mentioned that 88% of the participants of the passive cooling training in Mali and Niger actually made actual use of the clay pots that were shown during this training after the training was completed. And this to me speaks to the fact that if we do well-organized training, and proper capacity building, then there is actually the potential for a lot of these solutions to be adopted. And finally, the last thing, which I also found quite insightful, was during the session that I was moderating, one of the speakers mentioned that in Nigeria, probably it's also true beyond Nigeria, the agri-sector, so the agricultural sector, is strongly underfunded. And she mentioned that it's actually today it's covering less than 5% of banks' total credit, which means that there is a long way to go, and there is a lot more that should be done to make sure that the smallholder farmers that we're trying to serve actually get the attention that they deserve. There is a lot more I think that you could say about today, but just to keep it short, I'll hand over to Dimitris, and I just want to thank you once more for your contribution and your participation in today's meeting. Over to you, Dimitris. No, Dimitris, we still cannot hear you. I think maybe you have to leave and join back.
I think while we wait for the me to come back, I can just take the word from him to tell you that you have been an amazing audience. I think Roberta mentioned that we've had a marathon through the day, but you've been there right with us, running, keeping up, participating, asking very insightful questions to keep our speakers on their toes. So even though it's time to say goodbye, we do not want to say goodbye. What we would like to do though is share with you some QR codes or ways to stay in touch. I know you might have had the opportunity to see these through the day, but we thought we could give it a little more time this time around for you to scan the QR codes. So let's do that. But also to let you know that in case you missed some of the sessions, knowing that there were a lot of parallel sessions that were running, please do not worry. All the recordings will be made available to you, and also presentations that the speakers were in to share. We would encourage you to stay in touch with us at info@yourvcca.org. And along with that, what we have is an onboarding kit. So we know that there's a lot of information that you saw today. And it's really difficult to know what to take along with you and how to start working with it. And this is exactly what the onboarding kit does. It's almost like a MOOC wherein you have videos, tools, examples that guide you through every stage of an agri-cooling process, from feasibility assessment to business modeling, the digitalization, capacity building, and market linkage. So we invite you to please scan the code and use it. You can track your progress, you can take tests. There's a lot to offer. The other thing that we'd like to show to you is our newsletter. Um, Please feel free to subscribe and stay up to date with everything related to your VCCA. And lastly, on the onboarding kit, you also have support hours. So, in case there are learnings from today's session, but you're not sure uh, of how to put it into action. You've already been through the onboarding kit, you've seen the tips, but you have questions for us. Please feel free to book our time. We have support sessions arranged by theme. So please feel free to connect with us. We look forward to continuing the conversation beyond the webinar. Thank you, and over to you, Demi.
Thanks, Simran, and good to be back. I'll be very brief because I know we have 1 minute left. So 3 points that I would underline is I really saw through the sessions and it echoed through different speakers the importance of data and how technology is really enabling this access to data, both for the entrepreneurs and as well for the financiers that are backing those solutions, and also for the end users, and how this access will get better and better through time as technology gets more accessible, also from a cost perspective. And then the second one is collaboration. For me, it was super interesting to see that it's highly important to have collaboration for entrepreneurs on the ground, but as well for financiers, and how financiers really value collaboration between investors. So the fact of entrepreneurs having multiple investors on board just accelerates the process for more investors to come on board. So it lowers their risk. And then the third pillar, which was also underlined on the last poll of Daniel, is awareness, which is really great to see, because also that's one of the key aspects of this project that is supported by ClimateWorks, is to raise awareness on this topic, and also to disseminate the access to the tools we created that Simran just mentioned. So really access the onboarding kit, download the tools, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to the team. And so what's next for your virtual cold chain assistant? So we have multiple directions that are ahead of us. One, of course, is better market linkages and transportation. The other one is credit access, so enable better credit access and enhance the digital tools for impact monitoring. So at the end of the day, we really want to enable a seamless action of delivering crops faster to the market, to the buyers. So many thanks, everybody. And with this, I'm closing my part.
And the whole summit.
And the whole summit. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, everybody, for being with us.